That's one of them.
Sorry.
Thank you, Jim.
What is that? We're live.
And we're live.
Isaiah, if you want an intro.
Here we go for one night only. Here we go for one night only. JP is singing now, but the real host is L. And but Tara ain't here right now, but it's okay. Because it's gonna be the second hand made. Amanda's special guest. And Philly Phil is up. And Johnny's here to the left. But here we go for one night only. One night only. Yeah.
Never handmade
Yeah.
I hope you did not expect that from me.
No, I just wanted you to say what we were going to talk about.
My bad.
I didn't know that was what's going to.
JP, way to step up. Way to step up, JP.
Thank you.
That was legit.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Who cares what it's
soundbite
about
it.
now?
You forgot what the show is about now?
Yeah, that was so good.
It's for one night only.
No, Phil.
Sorry.
That's got to be it. You just got to play it back and get some clean vocals.
There we go. Yeah.
So tonight we're talking about the recent developments in the cases of Gypsy. Oh, wait, hold on. Do you guys know her full name? She's one of those
Nope.
girlies that has 16 names.
Gypsy-Rose Blanchard.
Gypsy-Rose Alcida Blanchard Anderson.
Oh, okay.
But Anderson is probably temporary. Let's be real, y'all. And also, fun fact, do you guys remember the part in the docu-series of those who watched when they debunked her French spelling of the name? It's not Blanchard, it's Blanchard. Because her mom was going around like spelling it with an E, so it would be Blanchard. And then people were like, it's just Blanchard. And I said, not the hard R. They said you're from the swamp and you'll return to the swamp. It was so aggressive.
All on a bayou.
And also about the recent developments in Natalia Grace Barnett. If she still goes by Barnett, who knows? They're actually doing a Hulu show. Ellen Pompeo is starring and executive producing a limited series on Hulu based on her.
Yeah, who is she gonna play?
Hopefully Christine. But also I don't want her to play Christine because I said, no, you left Grey's Anatomy to just be a Karen.
Stop.
But I mean, she was kind of getting there on Grey's, let's be real. But like, I was
Is that still an ongoing show?
Yeah, it still is. It still is, Phil. Don't worry. There's so much drama behind that damn thing, but
Grey's Anatomy is still going on?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think you're
Ellen
never gonna
Pompeo
die.
is no longer a regular, though, I believe. I believe she only makes cameos.
How
now.
many seasons?
I don't know.
shit.
Who's the main
22.
20?
What's
19,
Gray's?
20? Yeah.
Gray, the main character's name is what?
Ellen.
Ellen.
No, that's
And
not
she-
her name.
and
Meredith
she-
Grey.
No,
Well,
but
the hospital is called Gray Sloan Memorial, so
she
Oh.
pops in. The show ain't even about her anymore.
No.
the show was
well,
always about the experience.
I didn't know there was a
Just
person
kidding.
named Gray actually in it. I thought it was actually named after the hospital. So the fact that there was
It was
actually a Gray in
No,
Grey's
it's like a
Anatomy.
riff on, Grey's Anatomy, the book, like the scholarly book. It's like a riff on that and her last name, Meredith Grey, Grey's Anatomy.
Ah.
I thought it's about.
It's a medical
as far as I know,
textbook.
It works
it's
on
about
so
her
many
dating
levels.
and then
Yeah.
yeah, it does.
some medical thing mixed in.
But yeah, it's about her anatomy, more or less. Who's been in it? Everybody at this point. Who's been
Hell
out of
yeah.
it? Everybody at this point.
Everybody.
McDreamy, McSteamy.
Mixed.
All dead. Just
Wow, spoilers. Damn.
Spoiler,
was just
no,
kidding.
it's been on for 20
spoilers.
seasons. 20 seasons, y'all.
Wow, but damn, that's like a.
Like,
Oh,
think
well,
of
for
any
binging that
character
show.
from the show except for her, dead. I promise you.
Wow.
There is no clean exit from on Grey's Anatomy. You can survive a
fucking
plane
true.
crash, lose your limbs, and then get killed in a shooting at the hospital the next week. They don't care. They don't care. You gonna die.
Who was the main one? George? Didn't everybody cry when that guy?
I
know.
hated George, and so when he died, I always see videos on TikTok of people like crying, like the first time we saw George die. The first time I saw him die, I smiled.
Yeah, I knew you
said,
would say
"You-
something like that.
You
I
whiny
knew.
motherfucker.
Before we get back on top, who was in the elevator? What's the elevator about?
What do you mean?
Oh, like,
The elevator opened and George was standing there, and then
oh, that other tall woman, the one that was in controversy. What's her name?
Kegel,
Kegel,
Katherine
whatever. Yeah,
Heigl.
Kegel. Yeah, that one.
They
Ooh.
really did a really bad job with her character too on the show. The way they
Yeah.
wrote her off to like go live in like Iowa or something, and, like leave her career behind, and like raise her like daughter that she didn't have custody of because she put her up for adoption when she was born. It was like really dumb.
Jesus
And then
fucking Christ.
later on, Karev married the girl who plays Tomb Raider in the video games.
Really?
On the show, Karev and her got married. And then this is how they wrote Alex off. I decided to go be with Katherine Heigl. It's been 10 seasons. Why would you? That doesn't make any sense.
Alex is a tough guy, dude.
The tough guy who ends up being like the peds lead, the
all sensitive,
lead.
at the end,
now
all sensitive.
Yeah, and I was like, so you did this whole character change where now he's like this sensitive, caring peds leader and all that stuff just to have him leave his wife, abandon her, to go live with his ex in Iowa
with a note.
It's Shonda. It's Shonda's universe. You know how she is.
I mean, I guess after 20 seasons, you got nothing else. So
they were probably like, if they killed Alex, they probably would have gotten a lot of flack because people were already mad he was leaving.
Speaking of kills,
so Natalia or Gypsy
or both, but no, I'm just kidding. Allegedly, this is all allegedly. This whole show is allegedly. I don't want anybody trying to come for anybody here. I feel like both of their cases are fair game since both women consider themselves public speakers, public figures, as per their own words. So I'm not. This is not like me trying to like be exploitative or clickbaity, but these are both paths that they've endeavored upon post crime. So that was just my disclaimer for the show.
Okay, let's talk about how awful they are now. I'm just kidding. Don't come for me.
So who do you guys want to start with?
Ellen Grace.
Ellen Grace? Okay. Let's go with Natalia. Oh, yeah,
Natalia. Sorry, let me put some respect on her name.
So Natalia Grace, depending on what you believe, was either born in 2003 or 1989. Little discrepancy. She was abandoned. She was born in the Ukraine, abandoned 2 years after she got adopted in America. So she would have been like 7 or 9 at that point, or 22, which is funny. That was the nervous laugh. And her adoptive parents sought to get her age legally changed because they believed that she was lying about her age. And then they moved to Canada and left her in an apartment building by herself. And my whole thing about that was, maybe moving to Canada, moving out of the country wasn't the best look in that situation. But yeah, go ahead. That's just like the general gist of the story.
And she just recently did a interview too. I didn't get a chance to watch it.
Oh, you did?
So what was her age determined to be as of that interview?
True Diagnostic did the test this past August, and they said that she is genetically in her early 20s.
Yeah.
However, every time this came up, I was like, okay, if it was so easy to determine her age genetically like that, why didn't they do it before August 2023? Number one. And number two, the way in season 1 of the show, the way that Michael Barnett describes them trying to get her age from her bones kind of reminded me of like, like when you cut a tree and you count the rings.
Inside.
That was like that's the vibe I got from him. Like she was a science experiment. So
from the bone marrow, right?
Yeah, like they were trying to do it that way, and that's when they were like, she was born in 1989, and I was like, this is. But her mom, they found her mom, and she was born in 1979, so she would have been 10 when she had Natalia. But her hospital records state that she was born in 2003, but the prosecution wasn't allowed to include that in the trial. So they were only allowed to go off of her dwarfism and not her biological age when they were charging Christine and Michael Barnett for child neglect for leaving her in America alone as a child. And so that's one of the reasons why the husband, the creepy, wild-eyed, allegedly, man who he didn't get charged with anything. He ended up getting off, but Christine did end up getting charged for it. And so I don't know, but that's wild that they weren't allowed to be like, this is how old she is legally, when that was her whole basis of child neglect.
Yeah, like why wasn't it done during the court case?
Exactly.
And then all those doctors saying, going along with it too. It's just baffling. I swear, I was like, oh my God, these doctors. But then again, the mom was so good at being manipulated. It's just incredible. Now they're not that way, but they were so gullible at everything.
But I think that ties to like Gypsy's case too, where you have these like domineering women who are telling you what's wrong. And it's like, it's a privilege in America, at least, to be able to go to a hospital and not have CPS called on you immediately when you present them with, like, Natalia Grace, CPS should have been involved at every step of everything they did in that house. From what was she, pepper sprayed? She was forced to stand with her arms up, and her arms are little and chubby, so they were just up there for hours at a time.
That wasn't in the documentary that I watched. Holy shit.
Yeah.
That wasn't in the documentary that I watched.
What did you watch?
The one with you. The one that was a while back.
We don't hang out outside of this.
Oh my God.
But
she had to stand for hours, and her.
So half of it was in that part, and then a lot of what came out later was in the second part.
Okay.
Where Natalia speaks. But to be honest with you, and I spoke to Joe about this earlier, and it was very exploitative, the series overall, and it very much was like he said, she said. But you're putting a grown ass man versus an allegedly 20-year-old girl. You know what I mean? So it's weird that even like their interview, like I'm like, why would you? And that's where my questions about her come into play, because as an adoptee who had abusive adoptive parents, I couldn't stomach to sit in the same room with these people. But she's on national TV, and I said, I want to know what that check looked like, and I want to know how much the mans are taking from it, because I'm also not comfortable with that situation with who she's living with now, Antoine and what's the lady's name?
The priest and
Cynthia Mans. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's weird.
Like 10 children.
I get a weird vibe.
They're her guardians right now.
Yeah.
Well, guardians, caregivers, like I don't know, because of her age.
Which is 22 as of today.
Allegedly. But if it's saying she was born in 2003, she'd be turning 21 this year.
Okay.
So I don't know. Like her age is different literally on everything I've seen.
They just will never know her real age, I guess.
And I think that's what bothers me. I'm like very much a person who's based in fact.
Yeah,
I like to know I just like to know for sure what's going on. And I think that's what, like, I want to feel empathy and stuff towards her, but there's always a little piece that's like, but how many rings were in your bones?
It's going to be crazy that in the future, this is going to be one of the things that you're able to just Google up and get beamed to your brain, because you can be able to just scan the bones.
Okay.
I know.
What the?
I'm just.
What? You mean like a fucking ring or something? It's like, oh yeah,
well,
let me just count there.
Not necessarily. It's gonna be like, hey, look, what is this?
That's how you get consent. let me count your rings.
Kind of like carbon dating a human being is what he's just like.
It's all gonna be data after a while.
Mm-hmm.
So someone's gonna find out.
But I still feel so bad for her, because she did go through a lot, and every adult basically helped her out, but also neglected her, because they should have said something whenever they saw how small she was.
That's sadly how the system is, man. That's sadly how the system is, bro.
She had one family before the crazy guy too, right?
But she wasn't. I don't think she was formally adopted until the Barnetts.
Okay.
But even that was a point of contention, because she was saying that the Barnetts knew her original parents, but the Barnetts were like, we never met them, we don't know them, but they ran into each other at Disney World.
What?
Yeah. And she was like,
you run into weird people at Disney World, all right? You never know who's going to be there.
Yeah. I'm like, what are the odds? And I think just overall, it's like very uncomfortable. Like, they clearly had never raised a person with special needs before, nor a girl. And so when they were like talking about her puberty changes and how early it seemed for her and stuff, I was like, 8 and 9, unfortunately, is not early nowadays. Like, that's not precocious. So like, it was very uncomfortable hearing Michael especially go on and on and on about how many pubic hairs she had. And I said, you really need to just shut the fuck up about it.
I remember that about in the documentary, we watched that, and he said something about how she was like always talking about sex and stuff like that.
For which Natalia spoke on in the second part, and she was saying how if she was speaking like that, it must have been based on what she was hearing the adults around her talking about, and that she thought it was acceptable behavior because they allowed it, especially when she was in the mental hospital.
Okay.
Oh, with all the adults?
All the adults. They said she was basically saying that, like, if that's how she was coming off and those were the jokes she was making, that's what she was hearing around her.
Okay, I get that.
Mm-hmm. But also, ew, call 911 immediately.
It was like the same thing for Gypsy-Rose, because in Gypsy-Rose's case, in the new documentary, they go more into detail of her, and she was alone with her grandpa, and she said that her grandpa molested her.
Say what say what that weird fuck said. Put him on blast.
So the grandpa said that it was her, the little girl, that was doing that to him, and he was telling her to stop, that was not right. I was like, what the?
And honestly, mind you, Gypsy said bullshit. Like, Gypsy was like 8, 9. That's what Gypsy was saying. But then the grandpa was like, yeah, when she was 4. And I said, whoa, you just dated. No.
So that's what I did not believe him at all, because I was like, that's bullshit.
This would be Dee Dee's father.
Yes.
This is her.
That old man, I was like, oh my God. I was trying to see
the old guy sitting next to the old lady?
No.
Yeah.
He watched the last 4 episodes. He didn't watch the first 2. He was always sitting alone.
Okay.
The old man who was sitting alone.
But yeah, Sam, do you remember?
No, I don't.
Because what happened was her original grandmother, her biological grandmother had passed, and then he had remarried, and that lady was trying to rat poison him or something.
Yeah.
Oh no. Was it Dee Dee? Dee Dee was trying to poison her because she didn't like having a stepmom, even though she was a grown.
Yeah, she was already crazy about that time. But anyways, she had a bad past.
Lied about her age to get with Gypsy's dad, and then surprised he ran away.
That was weird.
Yeah, that was.
Among other things, was fun.
Oh wait, so that's why her dad left, because the thing that I watched, they said that her dad was just kind of no good and bounced as soon as she was.
Was that Mommy Dead and Dearest?
No, I watched. There's this Irish kid I watched called That Chapter, and he did a pretty lengthy video a couple years ago about like her case, and I usually like the way he covers things. He pretty professional, but not super dry about it, and I liked his breakdown. But like the way I guess he didn't update his video, and I guess
that's fair. That's fair, because a lot of this stuff didn't come out until the last year and a half.
And what he said was that he was 17 and she was 23, but she lied about her age, that she was younger or whatever. Then they just didn't work out, and then she from that point on, she kept him away.
She got pregnant. He was like, I'm not ready for this. I'm literally a child, and he bounced. And then, but immediately got with Gypsy's stepmother now, who's like very supportive of her, and like started like a whole new family. Which I mean, and a lot of his excuses for not being around, as a parent, I'm never gonna excuse that like poor attendance, because There's always a way if there's a will, if you will, out of context. But but for cases where it's like, oh, you know, Dee Dee was just domineering and controlling, and I'm like, there are so many red flags though that it would be like remiss for me to be like, there's no dirt on your hands either. There's too many red flags. Like from day one, there was red flags. You left because she was a red flag. So.
Like, honestly, I believe it could have been a weekend of like him spending time with his daughter to see if she could walk. Like he's got to help her with the bath or whatever, and she's like, "Damn, you can stand up." Like,
but that was another thing. They all knew she could walk. Both families knew she could walk.
They still
and they just went along with Dee Dee's
little mental
while she went to movies in Disneyland and
because
and
remember
she
was in the car accident. Dee Dee was in that car accident, and that's why she went to go live with her grandfather, and she was outside playing every day. They knew she could walk.
Man, that's
I should have watched those 2 episodes you told me.
Even the grandparents.
You can skip them.
She literally did. She's like, you can skip those. Now obviously some good shit in those episodes.
Even the grandparents said that, yeah, she was walking. They even said in the camera, like, yeah, she was walking perfectly fine. And I was like, why didn't you say anything? Nothing. They just went with it.
And then Gypsy was like, when they asked her about it, Gypsy was like, I mean, it was fun. I was learning to pop wheelies.
And then again, they were getting all the money and everything, so that's why the grandparents, I guess, they would have just said nothing. I was like,
and my curiosity is, how many Make-A-Wish trips are you allowed to take in one terminal illness? Just curious.
She may never know when she's gonna die. I mean,
they had to go back and revisit the process and the criteria because it doesn't make any sense. Hello.
I thought you got just one Make-A-Wish. I thought most people got one.
She got multiple trips to Disneyland. She got movies she went to so many movies that they made like a
special event for her.
Yeah, she was around to everything. Promos, everything. It doesn't, and then the house, like that is, they don't check any of this stuff.
Well, that was another thing. They tried to make it seem like every time Dee Dee would get investigated for something, she would skip town. But there is a point where I'm like, okay, so after a certain point, that's when she was like, oh, she has leukemia and muscular dystrophy, and I was like, okay, like.
And then the doctors, like, which doctor wasn't?
Every doctor was
you can like debunk that with one blood test. Oh, and then I think that's what happened, right? It wasn't it like the doctors were they felt like there was something wrong, and so they called her back to the office, and they were like, look, we're gonna have an investigation or whatever because things are not adding up. And then she's like, okay, peace out, and then she just went to a different county. But she also weirdly was like still in the news, and I'm like, so nobody's connecting the dots that this is the same. Never changed her name, was still, you know what I mean? And you just went to another county, and then Salvation Army gave you a whole house.
I guess the system really sucks. I mean, there's nothing that can.
They pulled this girl's teeth out of her head.
She has 16 teeth right now.
Off of the word of her mother. Pulled her teeth
It's like
out.
me. I only have like 12.
But I feel like that's honestly, to me, like out of all the things that she did to her or made her believe about herself, to me, that's like the ultimate. I get it, Gypsy. I get it.
Where whenever she got like
teeth, nails, and like one other thing, I don't want to say it because you guys are probably gonna like gross me out with it. But like those are 2 things I don't do. That's torture. That's torture.
It was, but they did another thing when they put a tube in her. No, it was like something that they.
So that's apparently something that's very common with Munchausen mothers, because they said that they can control like the child's intake, and so it's easy to make it look like they're malnourished or something. Is because if you can get your child a G tube, then you're in control of their feedings.
Yeah,
but we know it wasn't. We know it was like nobody was checking because Gypsy was like sneaking Twinkies at night, and so that ruined the other parts of her teeth because she was.
That's one of the things that got me about the whole thing, because it's she understood. She at to a degree, obviously, to engineer entire murder plot. To a degree, she understood what was going on, and as like she said, she's sitting there eating Twinkies and drinking Pepsi on the internet, Googling shit and finding boys to talk to.
Well, okay, but to her defense, and I'll say this. When I was in an abusive household like that, I too used to sneak food at nighttime because they would not let us eat after a certain time or certain foods. So we swiped, and that's what we call it. We swiped. And I would keep refried beans in the closet in the bathroom because sometimes that was like, it was filling, right? And then my brothers would swipe muffins and others. Like we would swipe food, like real food, because we were hungry. And so people did not believe me. They thought I was lying. Okay. And so I was like, no, but this was back in school. When I was in school, I would tell people and they'd be like, oh, she's joking. Like, I'm like, no, like I really don't eat at home. Like I really get beat with cords at home. Like, you joke too much. Like nobody took me seriously. My brother would say stuff. Nobody intervened. We had a teacher who loved her, absolutely loved her. But like her call to action was more or less like letting us eat snacks in class, and she would let us watch rated R movies in her classroom. And I'm like, thank you for the reprieve here, but call CPS. Somebody call CPS. My adoptive parents had family members who knew what was going on, and they'd be like, you need to get out the house. How? Where are we going? We're children. And so I think it's very easy to not believe that somebody can't that they're able to escape their circumstances. But when you're actually in it and people are constantly not believing you, these people had me on 4 psychotropics. Like I was 14, heavily medicated, sleeping at school because they kept telling them there's something wrong with her. There's something wrong with her. And there's probably something wrong with me now. As a result. But back then I was my dad just died. I was sad. You know what I mean?
So how many times did you plan murder?
Well, in my head or on paper?
I mean, statute of limitations.
In Minecraft, how many times did you plan murder?
Yeah. In Minecraft.
So this was pre-Minecraft, unfortunately.
In RuneScape. How many times you playing
in World of Warcraft?
In RuneScape.
No, it literally had to come to a head for me to get out of the house. Literally what happened one day was I was they were like, give me your Gmail password or something. And I was Gmail. You know it already. I haven't changed it. They were trying to log into my Facebook, even though I didn't use Facebook like that. I had one, and I was like, okay, but you have the password, just log in. No, you type it in. And I was like, I was tired. I said, you type it in. And they're like, oh, you got to have the last word. And I was like, I guess I do. And that's what happened.
That's
and
when
then,
you stabbed her in your head?
No, that's when they pushed me to the ground and I tried to get to the phone to call 911. And they said, you're going to call 911. We're going to call 911. And then her husband, my biological cousin, beat me up, basically. And then when the police came, they said that I was the aggressor. But I had my whole chest was scratched up. My legs were bruised. And they were like, well, you can't stay here. The police were I was the one who was wrong. And so I ended up going to stay with some of her family members who were like, it's about time you got out. And I'm like, you guys are all adults. And mind you, the person who I went to stay with was a high school counselor, a mandatory reporter.
What of the irony?
The whole system. So I had to go to court.
He only was quiet for the report the kids at his school.
Right.
Oh my God.
I had to go to court. I had to get legally abandoned in order for me to be able to move out of the house. And then they threw all my shit out in trash bags.
So is that when you thought about murder?
You know what? I never thought about murder because even then in the back of my head, I was like, my brothers are still there. I never thought of crime because I was always worried about my brothers.
But yet, Gypsy-Rose, she killed,
Gypsy-Rose. This is another thing that, honestly, until I didn't follow it super well, I knew the story of, I watched the documentary, I read a couple articles, but it wasn't until the last 4 episodes of the really good 6-episode documentary series that was out showed that she was told, like, well, I think Elton is that she was told to like not even talk about him, and all her interviews she steers away from him. But all the evidence, even the stuff that they show in between her clips of her claiming that, oh, you know, he's this and he's that, she was the master plan.
There's even a video of her.
There's the video.
There's of her like going through the house, telling her like
the path, and it makes a stabbing motion.
I was like,
she was like,
yeah,
he did it. He did it.
I saw the tape of her boyfriend confessing. I believe everything that he said. I think he literally did it for her. Like he admitted to the cops.
He was a vampire though. So like I believe that he was in his moment, in his vampire element, and I don't think he's all. And even his mother has said that he's like severely autistic. He has this, he has that, and I'm like.
Everybody said that about him. Like, he's just not there, right?
So it's very hard to be like, and then I think what makes it even less convincing that he was like the ringleader of anything is the interviews of Gypsy in jail and her about to come out, like her going to the parole board. She's in jail. She like she had like an active addiction to opioids and
in
vaping
jail?
And cigarette. Did we watch the same thing?
Probably was in those first 2 episodes.
No, it was in the last 4.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was. She talked about how she started, she went when she got in jail. She was in withdrawals because she had been abusing her pain pills when she was at home, and nobody knew it.
I remember the pain pills. I don't.
So she started to vape when she was in jail, and then that turned into real cigarettes, and then that turned into her owing people money, and then that turned into her lying to her parents about needing money. She was saying it's because she broke stuff, but it was because she needed to pay for her vices.
Well, like she didn't like probably need money, but like probably commissary for jail because
she was on the hook for vape. Let me stop. I don't know how personal.
No. She ended up owing somebody for contraband, and she lied to the kind that's illegal.
Yeah, like drugs and cigarettes.
And so she lied to her parents and was like, I accidentally broke this girl's radio. I need $50. And so they sent her the $50 for her to cover her drug debt. And this whole time, like, there's like secret fiancés and secret boyfriends. And I was like, what is going on, Gypsy? And I believe her that she really got in there and said, I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want now. And I believe it, and I empathize with her truly. But at every turn, she's also saying, I know I'm a liar. I know I'm a manipulator, but I feel like I can undo all of this. But up until the day she gets out of prison, documented on her own show, she's lying and manipulating. Like, up until she gets out. Even when she gets out, there's like a post-credit scene of her crying on the couch. Are they gonna take me back? And I said, "Girl, you know they're not gonna take you back
Taylor Swift
because
concert.
she couldn't go to the to the football game because she thought she was gonna run into Taylor Swift."
I sympathize with the Munchausen part. That sucks. You shouldn't have went through with it.
But now, how she's taking advantage of what she's learning.
There's a lot of people. Elio, prime example, you got out of a really bad situation with no bodies.
Well, just mental ones.
But she made it a reality. She then pinned it on a guy that they really couldn't get the truth from. She did a little bit of time, and now she's got the next what?
Well, she did do
4 6 months. Wait, who said she got canceled?
I did.
Wait, in her defense, she did do 85% of her sentence. Her sentence was only 10 years. She did 8. So technically, she did her time.
I don't know. I feel like murder should be the rest of your life.
But that was the terms that she agreed upon going into prison. That was the plea she took. Second degree murder, 10 years. So that's not on her. That's on the system. And also, I don't believe she ever should have been in jail. She should have been in a rehab facility from day one. Her and the
I thought they did do that. Oh my god! What kind of rehab did she get then?
Even after
like a mental health facility.
A convalescent.
She should have been in there. She should have never been in with regular people.
But she's shown that.
From
But I'm saying if your claim is that it's Munchausen, that it's this, that it's that, they should have fought harder for her to go to a facility versus
professional. Yeah,
rehabilitation.
Because what are you going to learn in jail except for to keep scheming?
Exactly.
Keep scamming.
That's what she was doing the whole time. Like in there, she just. But yeah, you're right. They should put her over there. That way, it'll be more.
But then she came out scamming still.
But look at how
That's what I'm saying, because she didn't get the help she needed.
Exactly. Yeah, and she was putting them. Yeah.
I mean, it's sad, but like that. Look at the atmosphere that she was a child in, man. That's what she learned.
Yeah.
Growing up, and then of course she's going to have that mindset. And they didn't put her in a place where she'd learn anything different. They put her in a place where she just learned to do it better,
to thrive.
Yep.
Because now it's on her own terms.
And you can see in the documentary how, you can see in the documentary how she's getting better at her manipulation, the way she's talking, because the whole time thinking, what do I believe in her? Like, I feel bad for what she went through, but now I'm just thinking, are you really good at being manipulative? Like really good?
There's a lot of things where I was like, I would have never arranged to meet somebody at a movie theater to fuck in the bathroom. That would have scared me to death. You know what I mean? Sure. I would have been so scared. And so I said, oh, you a ballsy girl, aren't you? Because what the heck? There's no way in hell you could have gotten me to do that when I was still living in those circumstances. Not in a million years would I have done something like that. That's wild to me. But especially with the threat of, she knew what she could get away with, I feel like she was more aware of what she could and couldn't get away with. But I do feel like she was humiliated.
I think she's a risk taker. I don't think that you know for sure that you're going to get away with meeting somebody to fuck in a movie theater bathroom. I think that you got
They talked about it.
But the risk she took, even meeting up with that other guy before, I honestly feel like a part of her wanting to kill her mom was that humiliation. This girl was about to get some with some guy at his apartment, a 30-year-old guy, remember? And then her mom showed up and was like, "You are a child. Like, get out. What are you doing? You're a whore." I'd be like, "Mom, what the fuck? I'm 19, actually."
Yeah, that's what she found out she was 19. Yeah.
And I know that affected her self-esteem and self-worth, because I'm a woman. I've been there. Like, if a woman, like my caregiver, had embarrassed me like that in front of a boy, I would have been like, "You are gonna die today."
I don't know. He was 30 and she was 19. That is kind of sus, man.
Well, he's a predator, but also I think let's keep in mind too that men.
Predator, but like it's men. You know what I mean? Like I'm not sure how you slice that. I don't want to throw out terms so nilly-willy, but like that, that's definitely red flaggish. You know what I mean? That's
I thought you could throw terms about her current husband. He's weird.
The whole situation, like, I don't think there's a normal person in this conversation, man.
But the thing with Ryan, though, Ryan Anderson, the thing with Ryan is he was like, yeah, I wrote her a letter as like a dare, and she responded. And then he was like a special ed teacher in, I forget what state. Is he in Louisiana too?
Yes.
Or
I don't remember, honestly.
I don't know, somewhere. He gets fired.
Wait. So this started as like a 90s teen comedy. I wrote her on a dare.
He said that him and his friends were randomly looking at pen pal things. He said, "Oh, she looks pretty cute." He wrote her on the dare.
Ooh, the Florida popped out cute.
But listen, I'm gonna tell you that Elle spent the other day. She spent about 20 minutes going through it, and there's not a single person in this. She was like, "You know what? I should write this person right now."
We played a little game.
Murder.
We played a little game after we watched the docuseries where I said, "I'm gonna tell you what the pen pal says, and then you tell me what crime you think they commit based on their release date." And there was one reprehensible, and like, okay, guys, this is where I'm not a good mother. My daughter was playing it with us.
She was playing too in the background.
She was like, robbery, armed robbery. And
Go on.
We get to this one woman, and that's when I was done. I was officially done, because it was this lady, and she was like, "I'm humble and God-fearing and blah 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 blah," and then we find her crime, and she like murdered and sodomied a 3-year-old child.
No, okay.
That's what I'm saying. And I was like, why are you allowed access to a pen pal program?
That's true. What
and
the?
she didn't. She doesn't. And she doesn't have her crime listed or verified. I googled her because I was curious about. She's okay if you're so humble and this, like, why are you in jail until 2040 something?
And why don't they have that?
But Randy thought, man, this is a great idea. Let me write Gypsy-Rose and
he said if I write Tiger King, you have to write Gypsy-Rose.
Oh yeah,
and so she did, and then Gypsy responded, and then Gypsy was cheating on him in jail.
And then they were engaged, and she was having dreams about her ex, and they was
told him, "Why would you tell?" She told him,
going off the rails.
It's hard to defend someone when you see that they're the problem.
Gypsy said, "I had a dream that my ex came and I left with him," and I was like, "Why would you say that to him?"
He's like, "It's 12 days to get married. Just tell me you don't want to be with me."
And her family,
she's in jail. She want to be with whoever gonna give her a ride home.
Yeah, because her family was very against her moving in with a man. They wanted her to move back home, get reacquainted with everyday life and stuff. But my thing is, Gypsy does not want to be under nobody's authority. She does not want to live with no parents.
Randy, I guarantee he is.
She's done.
But her husband, I feel like she thinks that he's somebody that she can do that to. But I feel like there's like something about him where I feel like he is going to be harder to deal with than she thinks.
Really?
Yeah, there's something because when they do interviews, she'll start talking and then he'll talk for her. And I don't like that for any relationship.
And I don't know about y'all, all the podcasts and movies and shows that I've heard that start out like this always end up in another murder.
And they asked her about her ex, and she starts talking, and he's like, "Well, actually, I feel like she was the one being." I said, "Nobody asked you. You weren't there. You weren't even there."
Well, I feel like
respond to things that you were present for, but to speak on her past, you have known her for a year, pen paling.
That's his wife. She signed that paper. He can speak for her.
I wish a motherfucker would speak for me. And I've been with my
her husband comes in there and say, "What?" No. Listen, don't say that because I've heard that octet go up, and I ain't never heard it so quiet.
The hand is gonna go up,
but you've also never heard him speak for me, huh? I'm respectful, but but he's never been disrespectful in any kind of terms towards me. And so, when I see you're a liar. And so when I see what I see in Ryan and Gypsy, it's not healthy.
It's really not.
They haven't known each other long enough for him to know what's best for her. It's weird.
I seen someone online referred to him as her husband mom.
Oh,
yes, because they are twins. Let me find the picture, y'all.
No,
the picture.
Yes.
Really? I need. Yes. Yeah, please. Let me see that. That's just like that's someone.
And what's even more wild is that post is still up of when Gypsy logged on to her mom's Facebook page.
The one like,
that bitch is dead. It's still up.
You would think that she would delete that or something, but it's just like a pride for her. It's like, yeah, I still wrote that.
So she's done. Like, she's got a book, and she had that documentary. Like, what's next for her? You said she was talking to Kim K.
No, she wants Kim K to be. She wants to work.
So that ain't happening. No, okay, never mind then. That ain't happening. Kim, she don't want that kind of person.
No, maybe if she's on death row, Kim Kardashian would talk to her. But like, yeah.
Or if one of the victims was a minority.
I think she needs to just go somewhere and just
advocates for.
But at what point, technically she committed a crime and we're glorifying. Like, it's very weird because since she's got out, it's all been everyone's like, yes, you're amazing.
Yes.
Like, do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. It's weird.
Very weird.
That's weird as fuck.
They like, and that's why I thought it was like weird that in her bio it says public figure. Like, that's what she's going by now. When you go to her Wikipedia page,
mine says it too.
It has her followers and her like count, which is disgusting. Like, at the end of the day, you're still you're a convicted murderer. And it's so weird that it's like I get the nuances of it. I get where it could be like, you did this for a reason, fine. But it wasn't like she was like, what's the word when the governor or the president gives you a pardon?
Pardon.
She wasn't pardoned. She served her time. She
still
did.
happy.
She did the crime.
Yeah,
she's still happy about it. I mean,
I'm a public figure too. We're the same, minus the murder.
Just the abuse part. People like to turn victims into heroes.
I need to be quiet.
Yeah.
But when Natalia's case now at her, we still don't know what's gonna happen to her because at the end,
It's still he said, she said.
Yeah, and then the adoptive parents at the end of the last clip. I don't know if y'all saw the Natalia one, but the very last ending, what they did, like a little, what post recording? Not post recording.
A stinger.
Yeah, where the parents were on the phone call, saying that there's something wrong with Natalia and she's off the rails and all that good stuff. So like now it's another
new parents.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
did you hear what she did allegedly to the daughter, the young girl of the man's family? And the interviewer, it was like a really weird sequence. Remember, they asked the little girl like, "What happened with you and Natalia?" And she goes, "I don't really want to talk about it because I don't want to make her feel bad." And then it cuts to where they talk about the police report that the man's claim is not true. But not only is it a police report, it's a hospital report. So you're telling me the whole hospital lied, all the doctors lied, the whole police department lied?
Yeah, what
happened? Natalia tried to hang her.
What?
Damn.
The little girl. That they were just roughhousing or something.
Nah, bitch,
and the mom,
get her out of here.
And my thing is, listen, I'm an adoptee, but I'm also like I do have biological children of my own as an adult. And I wish a little motherfucker would come into my house and try to hang one of my kids, and you think you're still gonna live here. Because at this point, Natalia would have been older. She would have been, over 12. She would have been old enough to know. She has no mental delays. She simply has a smaller frame. And so the fact that you thought that it was okay to do that or attempt that or try that, absolutely not. And you're a menace for keeping her in the house, but I promise you they were getting state benefits for her. Because there's no other reason to keep her in the house.
That check, it would have been worth that much. You have to go.
I promise you they're getting money. Because I'll tell you from my experience, my adoptive parents were getting like $4,000 to $5,000 a month.
And they have like 10 kids or something
10
like that.
Kids. And he's like a pastor or something. Where's the money coming from? What is your income? Because I feel like it's probably Natalia. I feel like they're making her residuals are their residuals.
Well, they do pass a basket around at church on Sundays.
Yeah, twice.
That's another true. Yeah, Jesus does pray on those.
They don't pay land or property taxes too. So just say.
Oh yeah, see there you go too.
They are her legal guardians. They became her legal guardians at a certain point. Wow. I don't know if it was post case or pre, but like, and even then, like, yeah, she could sign. You could, even as an adult, you can get legally adopted. You can get legally, conservatorship or JP. Listen, the money I would pay to have my birth certificate changed back, or to even other people, because I hate that they're on my birth certificate.
Oh, they say that they're gonna say the money I would pay for it to adopt you. Like really? But never mind.
JP, the only thing with that is don't worry. I would feel responsible.
You're gonna be on a documentary too. Don't do that.
What the fuck?
I kept him in my basement.
Allegedly.
Well, she did mention that getting adopted somehow helped her go for civil suits against the Barnetts better, which would benefit the man if she got.
Holy shit! Yeah, it's
so
dirty.
Did they adopt her just to get in on that?
I feel the man's new, and I feel like from the circumstances of everything. Listen, I'm gonna be 100% real with y'all. I don't come from money or nothing like that. So like welfare queens and all that bullshit, I'm very familiar with it. And from everything, all the vibes I've gotten from these motherfuckers is nothing but like, how can I get ahead without doing the minimum amount of effort? And it very much is giving like, how much do you get a month? what's your you know what I mean, stipend? Because there's no other reason to take this person in. Like, it's weird.
I agree.
And we don't know anything about her hanging. They try to act like they didn't know. Like, no, we don't know where all those reports came from. It was a whole hospital. It was a whole police department. So what do you mean there's no merit to it? Like, come on, be for real. And who's out to get you? Because how does the hospital gain from lying on you? You're not anybody.
That's true. That's so true. I didn't even hear about that at all.
I think it was on the second or third episode. It was like really weird because they were like talking to Natalia and like, you know, Michael. They were still trying to get them to sit down with each other. And then all of a sudden it cuts to like this black background and this little girl. I don't really want to talk about it. I said, who are you?
Oh, okay.
But that whole situation is weird. Like from, you know, them accusing her of like trying to touch on little boys when she lived in the apartments. And it's like, okay, was she a child though? Or was she not a child? And even if she was a child, that's not normal behavior. So why wasn't CPS or somebody involved then? You know what I mean? It's like every time it doesn't make sense to me. Like nothing adds up in the Natalia Grace story. And I think that's why it's so frustrating to me because neither one of them are reliable sources of information.
I don't think we're ever gonna know the full story, especially with all that, because like you said, everything's just spread apart. All the information is spread apart.
Even with the Mans, it's like even that's like now there's a third perspective, and then even the family before that had Natalia before, and then her mother, and so it's like there's so many different people saying so many different things that I would love to just be like, let's not okay. This sounds barbaric, but like let's just truth serum everybody.
So we're gonna get another season when somebody get hurt. That's crazy.
You know what? If there is another season entire thing, I'm done. I was like, you know what? I'm done with this. Like, no, it's just money.
Season 3. Yeah, I wouldn't watch it because at this point, I feel like they're playing in people's faces. I think people were genuinely curious about what happened, like without it being like salacious or you know. But now it's to the point where it's Discovery Plus. It's ID Investigation Discovery because this was on Max, but it's a Discovery show, and their shows tend to be a little bit more grimy, a little bit more ill, a little bit more less facts, a little bit less facts.
Yeah, whenever it's on there, that's why those outcomers I'm always a little bit iffy, you know. I was like, I'll wait for the other ones, but the ones I'm like, yeah.
And that's what a lot of people were saying that Christine was inspired by Orphan to do all of that. And I just, you know, when Orphan first came out, I thought it was just like a regular horror movie. And I took my adoptive sister at the time to go see it because I was like, oh yeah, like you're sick, let's go to this movie. She was like 9, 8 or 9. And so I just thought it was gonna be like, you know, a throwaway horror movie, nothing like a PG-13. And then when everything went down, I said, oh my God, don't tell your mother that I took you. That could have come off as abusive, but it was like for real. I was like, don't tell them that she was trying to seduce the dad. Shut up. Natalia is a victim, but everybody are douches along with the producers. Yeah, I think everything about it was just like ick. The whole production team, everybody trying to force them to sit down together was like weird energy. Like, but I also feel like Natalia at this point knows that there's a payday somewhere. Unfortunately, I think that she's has been coded to go where the money is at this point. What can you get for what I know? And I think that this is going to be probably taken further and further because people are still what happened?
So they make a documentary just to shock people. Like they just put
Discovery Plus, absolutely.
They just put these people on display and made a spectacle out of them.
So I'm glad for
that sounds like I'm a little worried to watch this now.
Go find it for what?
See, for Natalia's case, it's good because I guess where is she gonna get the money for her surgeries and you know
drop the link, Chris. I haven't seen that.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, it's like I don't know.
I'm not surprised. Like that's how a lot of the people like that kind of make a lot of money is with GoFundMe's. Like there's a lot of weird fraudulent GoFundMe's that like you always hear get brought up in true crime cases. So
I'm very hesitant about like what kind of true crime I consume. So this, especially this one in particular, for me is not something I would have typically watched.
So did this Natalia girl actually kill anybody, or is it she just got abandoned by these people and they tried to say that she was older than she was, and then it got proven that she's younger?
Both. She didn't kill anybody, but she was also there were claims that she was trying to kill family members and that she was trying to kill like friends and other kids at the school. They were saying that the teachers were saying that she was like hitting kids and ramming her wheelchair into kids, like before before, like prior to I don't know where my train of thought went.
Like going to the home, like the
before they started homeschooling her, because they did start homeschooling her. Yeah.
So I like that Natalia's going for the money because she needs the money for her condition. So there's nothing bad with what she's doing because she's going after the money and after the Barnetts. Now, Gypsy-Rose,
but it's kind of making a mockery of dwarfism and other people with pituitary problems.
Yeah.
And so it's like, why would people believe the next person? Because and I also feel like there's things that Natalia isn't going to admit to, but is it because of her circumstances or because she is also a manipulative schemer? You know what I mean? Because again, we still don't know, exact ages and stuff like that. Everybody just has a rough estimate. And do we trust True Diagnostic? Because where were you during the trial? And if she's 20 now, she could have given her consent 2-3 years ago. And if the mans weren't worried about the money either, why didn't you guys get her tested when you first got her?
You should be a lawyer or something. I mean, shit. I'm like, okay. I'm like, all right.
Natural born arguer.
Yeah, imagine arguing.
Joe's saying there's a creepy prayer scene in there. Man, this is starting to sound like a Harmony Korine movie. Damn.
Yeah, no, because Antoine Mans is like a preacher or something.
Yeah, that's. I feel that. Listen to the prayer.
Yeah, Mommy Dead and Dearest is on HBO. That was a documentary that they released right after the events of the trial for Gypsy.
And then that Lifetime, like, 6-episode thing.
The Prison Confessions of Gypsy-Rose was Lifetime, which I was honestly surprised at the quality and the...
It was good for Lifetime. It was good. I was like...
It didn't try to sugarcoat anything. It didn't try to make it like... The only thing that was a little bit cringe was like the title card with the wheelchair and her standing over it in her prison uniform. Every time that popped up, I said it looks like a ghost. A prison ghost. Yeah, it's like... I think they're both... I feel like, unfortunately, they're both like such polarizing women based on their actions and the circumstances around them that I don't think anybody will ever be satisfied with anything we learn about them.
Not anymore. No. Poor them, though. I mean, I just feel bad for them.
But also, you have 57 million likes. Gypsy-Rose, because your Wikipedia says so. You have 9 million followers.
That's some money right there.
Got a husband with D that's fire.
Yeah, you got Fire D at home. Did you guys see those edits that made him be Peter Griffin?
What?
There's like edits on like Instagram and stuff that like puts like the pants and the white collared shirt on him, so he looks like Peter.
No.
And I'm not into bullying. I'm not into bullying. However, I said, you know what?
Yeah, you are. Yes, you are. Shane, is Elle into bullying?
Yes. Oh,
why would you ask him?
Because I'm the one getting bullied all the time.
Why would
well, if Leah was here, I'd ask her.
Or Ruben. Ruben's always like, she's bullying me.
Ruben would never. Me and Ruben.
She muted my mic.
Whoa. I don't even know technology. Why would you assume?
I wish I had screenshot it. Host me.
Host? Who you calling a hoe? Oh.
Oh my God.
So yeah, Gypsy.
She's
let me tell you something. This is my opinion. Nobody take this out of context or do. But also, I don't want to be judged. I don't want nobody to say nothing about this. How many years until we see Gypsy with a black man? I'm just saying, I feel like she's going to end up with a black man, and she might have
that vibe?
Lamar Odom is allegedly paying for her teeth to get fixed at his clinic in
Lamar Odom.
Lamar Odom owns
a basketball player, right?
Yeah, he owns a dental clinic for people who can't afford to get their teeth fixed. And
that's me right here.
Yeah, and he's sign up. Put on a little low cut top. Mr. Odom, I can dribble balls.
But with the amount of interviews she's been doing, how can she not afford it?
I don't think it's about affording. I think it's press for his company, his business.
Oh.
Yeah. It's like, because like Dr.
Like a
Miami,
shameless plug.
Yeah, people are going to pay for Dr. Miami, but celebrities, let's be real, you're sponsoring. You're getting your surgery sponsored. And so I think it's only a matter of time before she gets the BBL, before she's with a black man, before she gets her lips injected. I promise you.
BBL. The BBL is the booty one, right?
Yeah, the butt lift, yeah.
That's my big butt lift.
Wait, Brazilian.
Big butt lift.
I'm sorry.
I was going to say, man, after reading the comments, Joe had to be here because he was passionate in the comments.
No, Joe heard BBL and he
got
said,
opinion.
Yeah, BBL, and Joe's like, I'm in.
He's in the portrait where it's like half his face, like, hey guys.
No, but what I was saying before about the prayer, that's where Natalia and Michael are on the floor and there's that prayer that summarizes the whole fucking series for me. It's so cringe. It's so exploitive. It's insane.
When he showed his car, it doesn't run though. I said, shut the fuck up and go in the house.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
I'm the story. I'm the classic story of a person that had it all and lost it all. It's like he makes everything about himself. It's
and the way he
cringy.
But he's the one who
get that guy off the show. Yeah, get that guy off the show. It's horrible. They give him way too much screen time. It's crazy.
He was such a good actor.
Yeah.
Is he?
He was such a good bad actor. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
he was so good at trying.
Yeah, he's so fake though. It's crazy. Yeah.
But Joe, what did you say about blondes? Because I need a saint to hear this.
Oh, I was just saying, I don't know if there's some kind of weird chemical in blonde follicles, but it seems like a lot of blonde chicks are crazy as fuck.
You hear that?
Canceled.
Can't confirm. That's right.
You watch all these series, and it's always like the blonde chicks that are always crazy doing stuff.
I'm not gonna tell you. That's why I'm on my best behavior most times. I'm telling you, man.
You hear a knock on the wall right now. You're real close. You're real close.
You ever seen that one TikTok that as a dude's like, oh, this is my girlfriend, and all these people are fucking adding shit to it of him like holding her hostage.
Oh my god!
Oh yeah.
What?
Because my cousin
so good.
had kid with this blonde chick, and she was fucking psychotic, man, crazy. Like to the point, like on the Gypsy one there, where the father's saying, "I don't know what the mother tells her," because he only sees her like 2-3 times a year. Like, does she tell him I'm the boogeyman? So when she sees me, she's afraid of me, stuff like that. So, and she did that to my cousin. Like his kid was terrified of him whenever he was around.
My biological mom is like that, and she's blonde, and she is blue-eyed. She is out of control. She is out of control. And to the point where I was like, when I was like 8 or 9 and my dad got full custody, it was like, well, she still has you for Sunday visitations. I wouldn't go because I felt like every time I went, it was a new story trying to be put on me about my dad. But like, no, the courts just proved you wrong. The courts just proved you wrong. Like, I'm not going to listen to it. But I was also a daddy's girl. So, I mean, but also she was wrong. And even to this day, I really have to take everything with a grain of salt because you've told the same stories for so long that they're true now to you. And so, I don't know. The blondes, I don't know.
But I enjoyed the documentary on HBO.
Yeah.
But I didn't enjoy the docuseries as much.
That's the thing. Like the documentary is great. They're like 1 hour 30 minutes. But then whenever they linked it out to the docuseries, it's just not good at all.
What I will give kudos to the docuseries though too is that it was Gypsy's. It is her thing, but it was still unbiased enough to where they kind of called into question some of the things Gypsy was saying and some of the backstories and stuff. So I do appreciate that they tried to be unbiased in some of the instances because they could have easily just let Gypsy say whatever the fuck she wanted without fact checking. And I do like that they called out her being a liar and manipulator still.
Yeah, because I came out of that just feeling like.
Well, I mean, she was raised in that, right?
Yeah, so, she was raised
obviously that's going to imprint on her, right? That was her mother, and whether you like it or not, that's going to have an influence on you as a person. You know, she's got a lot of work to do anyway if she's going to become a normal, functioning member of society, right?
And they should put her not in a normal jail cell, just like Elle did, because if not,
well, I didn't put her in anything.
No, I'm just saying what you said. Like they should not put her there. That way she could have got the right help.
Did you want me to play this video?
Oh, the hostage one? Yeah, it's a bunch of little clips, little screens, and you put like, oh my god, they're a hostage and all of that shit.
Dude, it's good.
Also sharing. Is it sharing? Is it on the screen? Oh.
Yeah, 2 white people right there.
Yes.
Happy Star Wars Day, everyone. Today is also my birthday. And because it's my birthday, I get to introduce you to my girlfriend, who is amazing. Star Wars Day, everyone. Today is also my birthday. Star Wars Day, everyone. Today is also my birthday. Wars Day, everyone. Today is also my birthday. And because it's my birthday, everyone, today is also my birthday. Hey, everyone. Today is also my birthday. And because it's my birthday, I get to introduce you to my girlfriend.
Marcus, you don't want to do this. Let her go. Breaking news, a man is currently holding his girlfriend hostage. Police are outside of his home waiting negotiation term. Breaking news, a man is currently holding his girlfriend hostage. Police are
I love it.
Breaking news, a man is currently holding his girlfriend hostage. Police are outside of his
Michael owner. I know we are all aware of the current market situation developing. I want to assure you I have my Michael owner.
I've known her for years.
I know we are all aware of the current market situation.
a man is currently holding his
Okay, I've never seen that.
That was pretty great.
But yeah, it was that first couple ones. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
They're
what I'll
really
say
creative.
about all these things, what it has a negative effect, right? Because it's turning victimhood into a business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh,
that's one thing about all these docuseries and stuff is and I think that's why now being a victim, like people crying victimhood and stuff, has become so popular because it gets you likes, it gets you clicks. Like you said, it's sickening that something she posted had 59 million likes, right? Like, it's become big business now to become a victim. So
and so if I don't know to what extent, but I do know there's like certain laws where you're not allowed to like financially gain from your crime. So I wonder, like, so I'm like wondering, like, is that
normally
everywhere?
the families put that in? I thought, like, the family makes sure.
Yeah, but you're a victim. You're not the one that committed the crime.
Well, that's what I'm saying. In her case, she's good, but a lot of the killers and stuff.
But she did serve 8 years charged, not pardoned for murder.
Yeah, so I don't think
which she pleaded guilty to. Like you said, I agree. She did her time. She realized, like, I think she's sincere when she says she regretted it after, and like.
I think she regretted it, but I think she would do it again.
Do you? I think if she's not living, if she's living in a normal environment, I don't think she would have done it if she was living in a normal environment.
Back in that same environment, she would kill her mom 100 times over.
But she's not sorry.
And to tell you the truth, I think if she didn't get famous, I think that might. I think she would have probably been a bigger chance of her reoffending if she doesn't have the spotlight on her. I think that, like, she might, like, I don't know what's going to happen, but like, I would be more worried about her reoffending if, like, this might be a deterrent.
But I would not be surprised to see her scam in the future. I would not.
No, I would not be surprised.
No, she's gonna get busted for something else in the near future, man.
Domestic violence. I would not be surprised by.
Did she have the GoFundMe?
She likes the attention. I feel like she thrives on it, and that's a
those
narcissistic trait. But she got it from her mom. She got it.
Mom, yeah, that's it. Yeah. She went to the school of. She got a front row seat to become a master manipulator, right?
No, but when you see her face, look at her face. Not a reverse nepo bit, but when you see her, when you see like that interview, like I was saying, when Ryan cut her off, her face, like, it got dark. She didn't like that, and I was like, "You guys are about to tussle."
Oh, that's the last episode. I didn't see the last episode.
No, that was on a Instagram clip of like her doing an interview, and then there was also the titular shocking of this episode was when she was doing an interview for like Entertainment Tonight or something. And the girl was like, "So, like, what are you into? Like, what's your favorite Taylor song?" And she's like, "Karma's my favorite song."
Oh,
and
yeah?
And then the host goes, shocking. Shocking. And I said, no.
Wow.
And Gypsy doesn't know if she should laugh or not, so she kind of like does this like half smile, half giggle thing, and I was like, you know, you wanted to laugh, girl.
But I mean, in the type of society we're living in with social media and everything, I mean, kids are going to be so fucked up like moving forward. It's crazy.
The
it's
worst
going to
thing
be
that
hard.
could happen for her mentally. Because the first
Yeah,
thing
like
she did in the car was like ask her husband, like, download Instagram.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Amanda.
Yeah, like she's going on interviews and we're asking her what her favorite Taylor Swift song is.
I know. Like it should be part of her parole. Part of her parole.
Yeah.
A condition should be that she has weekly visits with a therapist or something.
Oh,
and
I think she is required. She does have.
She is required. Okay, because I don't know how this works, but I mean, if you're awarded parole, anyone that comes out of the system, right? Because you're coming, they should all have free access to weekly or monthly visits to therapy, right? To help them cope, to help them adjust, to help them like. You can't just put these people back into the world and expect them to completely like adapt and live a normal life like everyone else. That like they need some help. It isn't just going to happen on its own.
Remember that movie Shawshank Redemption? I mean, those people, they were institutionalized in there for a long time. Coming out, they just couldn't. Yeah,
institutionalization is a real thing, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I also think it's in her instance, it's easier for her. I think she had a cushion coming out of prison. She knew she was having the docuseries. She knew she had all of these things lined up, the hotels, the New York trips. She had all of these things lined up, and I feel like so for her mentally, that struggle of what am I going to do when I get out was not a burden for her because she knew coming out that she had 9 million people following her already. That she had deals ready for her when she came out.
It's very deliberate, I think, all that. The docuseries coming around right as she's getting her parole, which she was extremely confident she was going to get.
Yeah.
This was all set up. It's very deliberate. Like this all getting set up.
Randy has a big part of that too. He's trying to get in on that money too.
Yeah.
Randy, the husband.
Randy.
Well, that's another big angle for him even contacting
he even
her
said
and
he was
wanting
like,
to be
I
with
lost
her.
my job because I was a teacher at a Christian school. I said, what do you think? You signed the ethics clause when you work for religious institutions. And
what's up with all these religious people trying to get in on it?
Because they're icky. Icky. But like my whole thing too is like he's like 39 and she's what, like 32, 30, something like that. And so the age gap doesn't bother me, but we're talking about somebody who mentally we're saying is stunted as a child. Who claims that she's mentally stunted as a child. And so you're over here bragging that you bagged Gypsy-Rose. Like that's
why he got fired. He was at work at a teacher.
That's not a compliment, my guy.
Guess who I saw this weekend? It was like, what the fuck, dude? Get the fuck out of here.
Do you think like the pen pal system is a good or bad thing?
It depends. And they need to be vetted. And I think there should be some kind of vetting system. And I think they try to say there is, but I don't believe that it's as thought out or well done as they think it is at all.
Yeah, I don't know, because it attracts certain people, right? That probably aren't healthy for these people coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She married a groupie. She married a groupie. Yep. That's what she did.
Yeah.
Because that's weird.
So I think
he's a fan.
These pen pal things, I don't know, like you hear of these serial killers, like, and then they reach out and they get, like you said, fanatics or groupies or whatever, like,
and even
it just reinforces their behaviors, right?
Yeah. Even if it was like, I felt bad for her, so I reached out. You want your romantic relationship to be based on somebody feeling bad for you?
Man,
that's gross.
You feel bad for her, man. Look for somebody down at a bar and say hello, man. What the fuck? Not write a letter.
Yeah, but they don't have the check and the 56 million likes.
You're right. I think I felt like he knew that she would write back because what else the fuck she have to do? He's laid it on thick. Because what else is she gonna fucking do? And then now he's gonna get a look.
But can we talk about how he showed up to pick her up in a car with the license plate that said Hitman on it? I knew it was like supposed to be for wrestling, but also you're in America. It's like 2023, and so it's kind of weird that you have like a license plate dedicated to like Bret Hart.
Bret Hart. Yeah.
And so he showed up to the jail with a license plate that says Hitman on it. And I said, that's maybe not the best image you want to project right now, considering what she's in there for.
He just never got over the Montreal screw job.
She got her a second hitter though, I guess.
So what's the pool? What's the pool? Wait, before we do that, hi Gypsy, in case you're watching this. Sorry we're doing this, but what's the pool?
Come be a part of the panel. We're talking. What's our next subject?
How long do you think the marriage is gonna last?
I think there's gonna be an OnlyFans.
Oh my god!
Oh yeah.
Part two.
What do you think this sub? What do you think this sub is gonna be?
Oh, 25 easy.
25.
25 million?
Oh, like the base?
No, dollars a month.
That's $25
base month.
Oh, the
Okay.
subscription. I thought you meant number of subscribers.
Because look at bad baby. She's a millionaire.
That's weird.
Okay,
man.
For context, OnlyFans. What's like a really popular OnlyFans? How many subscribers do they have on average? Like for a good OnlyFans.
A good OnlyFans.
That's good you brought her up, El. Like
They're
Bad
successful.
Baby should actually start up.
Who made 1 million in a day?
Bad Baby made it overnight.
No, not her. That's weird.
Oh, you're talking about Belle Delphine.
Belle Delphine guy.
Oh, she's the one who farts in
Friggin'
jars.
bathtub girl.
Yeah, in the tub.
Yeah, she started OnlyFans and made $1 million in a day.
So I follow this girl on TikTok, Anna
She
Paul,
farts in jars?
and I didn't know that she was on OnlyFans for like 2 years. I didn't know, and then I was like, "Where she is living the life? I wonder where she gets all her money from." And so I randomly Googled one time, and I just see her, cum covered tits, and I said, "Oh, she's an OnlyFans." And not only is she on OnlyFans, she's top 0.01%. She's number 1 in Australia. And I said, Anna Paul, yeah.
Oh my
Pauly
God! I think I saw the picture you saw.
Polly is the name of her. She has a skincare company now because in Australia there's such no stigma about sex work that she's literally like signing stuff for little kids. She has a skincare line. She has lip gloss
tell
line.
me the skincare marketing is the cum tit picture.
And it's it's unfortunately so cute. I would buy it if it was milk. If they had done like a milk angle, that would have been hilarious. But she did this like super cute jelly.
That would make
like,
a good commercial.
Yeah, like these bright
Money
neon
shot
jellies, and
with
they're
her-
so cute.
It's her products, the money shot, and she's like rubbing it in.
Yeah, and so I was like, what the hell? And then just recently, I don't know if you guys follow Reina is Crazy, the competition eater, the Asian girl.
You told me about that.
Yeah, and then she does those like viral videos that are like, I won by this, and I always thought it was her joking around. But then she had a video where her boob was almost coming out of her top, and somebody commented, "Oh, we're back there," and I was like, "What do you mean?" And I Googled her. Hardcore porn. And I said, I thought you were just eating the hot dogs. I did not know you were taking them.
She's the glizzy goblin.
My feed was full of that, so I saw it, and I'm just randomly. I think I shared a video, and then I guess Elle couldn't wait to tell somebody because she's like, you know what? And she told me.
Yeah, because it's wild.
I gotta scroll past the videos because of the stuff I've seen. I'm like, I can't just watch.
I've seen her smutted, dudded, and mud. Like it doesn't. I was like, whoa, and I think it's the whole nature of TikTok, or like even you can like have a whole different persona on this social platform that people on Instagram will never see. Because I see people who are like, I didn't know they had a TikTok. I didn't know this, and it's like a whole different audience. I don't ever hear nobody talk about it. Like their actual money making thing, not TikTok, and but they will have you think they're rich off of TikTok. But just wait, because did you see yesterday? Actually, Gypsy posted on her Instagram. She posted a video. She's like, "Well, I was obligated to go on all of these interviews. I'm sorry, I don't mean to mock your voice, but I went on all these interviews, and I was obligated to do all this press stuff. But now that things have settled down, I said, oh, now you got to make content." Because you have to make content. You got to keep making content. And so she was on there talking about some warning signs of Munchausen. But I said, okay, girl, now we settling in. This is where we start. And I said, no. And I feel like the likes on that are not going to be as high as you going to do a podcast with this person, or you going to New York City and watching she went to like Broadway. And it's like, it's just not as salacious. Like you talking about what actually happened is kind of boring now, unfortunately. in the press cycle.
I
Like
just saw
people don't
Peter
want to hear
Griffin.
that.
I saw them. They made him Peter Griffin.
It's true. If she settles into a normal life, then no one's going to be interested in her anymore. So, like Johnny says, is that going to make her kind of act out and like?
Yeah, I've seen this in a million crime novels by lonely women, and hate to say it, but it's a genre. And I just feel like she's like she is giving like Lisa Jewell, she's giving Lisa Jewell. She's Lucy Foley. Like she's about to be the next. She should write a book, but not based on her crime, but kinda. You know what I mean? I feel like she would make a killing, quite literally, in that market as like a.
And she could easily find a ghostwriter, right? Because you
absolutely.
give a percentage, someone will jump on you. Like that's cash it in, right? That's guaranteed money. A ghostwriter will be like, yeah, fuck, she'll have them lining up to want to write her story for her.
It's probably in the works, man. She's got one coming.
Because she just released an ebook. But her ebook is like, where do I go from here? Like and it's like, okay, nobody wants self-help. They want I don't want to say it. Never mind. But nobody wants that for you.
Yeah.
I was gonna say self-harm, but like if you're not hurting yourself, we just want to know what's next for you. Wink, wink. Not what's actually next business-wise or.
I think it would be best if she found a nice place to quiet and got help for herself. Honestly,
that would be ideal. That would be ideal.
That would be ideal, but
it's not the nature. It's not the nature of like how society works right now, especially once you already have that platform. She's gonna do whatever she can to retain her platform, her engagement.
Oh no, and she'll probably get like a Discovery or a show on Bravo.
Well, Lifetime kind of insinuated that like to be continued. This isn't over.
She's trying to get them streams up.
Can she have kids?
Probably. She never got radiation or anything.
So I mean,
hysterectomy.
There you go. There's a reality show right there. Her raising her own kid.
Ugh, I wouldn't be able to watch
it. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's it.
What if she named them all 2-letter names like?
No.
What? After her mom.
Named after her mom. Yeah, Dee Dee.
No, right?
BB.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't remember this one's name.
Like at the end of the day, her story is heartbreaking, man. Like
no, it's awful. Yeah. But I think it's more. It's less. I feel like it's awful. It truly is awful. But the more she opens up about it, it's more like, was this parasitic or symbiotic? Like, who was feeding off of who? Because there comes a time where it feels like.
I think she's opened up enough, man. She's like,
no, I don't want to know anymore. That's what I'm saying. Like, she should have said less.
Yeah.
Because, and if she's gonna try to do content now, like I don't know how she got canceled. I haven't watched any of the videos, but I've seen all the gotcha and all the drama guys already have huge videos on her, and like I know that like there's all kinds of arguments on Twitter about her place in society since being released and stuff. So I honestly think that like it's not going to be healthy for her to be too involved in the media, you know what I mean?
But how do you feel about like there's a privilege that she has being a white victim woman in America, and she did serve time for murder. Those same opportunities are not afforded to other people who get out of jail for lesser crimes. And so I feel like there's an ick factor with that too, because you're not
her being able to cash in on celebrity for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's another reason why she should kind of just, disappear. That's the best thing to do.
Yeah.
After such a tragic, heartbreaking story, man, like it's not going to get any better.
I feel like she doesn't look at it like that anymore. I feel like she buys into the controversy of it. I think that she absolutely, at this point, to her, that's like her launching pad. That's her career launching pad now. It's not like, oh, I was a victim and my mother. No, it was like, yeah, and so now.
And I think that's why she's getting called out. So it's not going to be healthy. It's going to be like a vicious cycle for the rest of her thing. And these people aren't going to stop. They're not going to leave her alone. I know these YouTubers that are doing.
But do you think she's in her delusion enough to not care for the attention to mean more than negativity?
I think I think if she can bypass like YouTube and TikTok and all that shit and get on, like we said, get like her own reality show, she won't have to worry about that ultimately. But if she tries to grind on actual social media, it's gonna be so much worse for her because they already have it out for her.
Because I feel like she's in her infancy. Like with the Kardashians, if you look like the earlier seasons, they were constantly on social media, letting social media dictate how they looked, how they talked, and constantly changing themselves to appeal to mass audiences. And I feel like right now Gypsy is experimenting with who she is personality-wise and looks-wise. And I think that it's going to be hard for her to not. Even if she does get a reality show, she's very much coming off as I read comments. And I think that that's not going to stop for years because it's new to her. It's exciting.
That's why I waved to her. Hey, again, thank you for watching to this far.
But ethically speaking, all these docuseries, I mean,
they're predatory.
It is like from a moral and ethical standpoint, all these docuseries, not all, but I'd say a large chunk of them, maybe 90% of them are, like Johnny says, exploitive, predatory. Like, I mean,
now they are
it's
than
the new pornography,
yeah, the
right?
Recent ones,
It's like pornography, right? Like what pornography used to be. Like, I mean, you're taking these people that are vulnerable and you're exploiting them and making money off them,
and making them act as sleazy as possible for entertainment. From what you guys said on these shows, these two specifically, they get pretty cringy, as I think is the term you guys used.
Oh yeah,
I remember the other documentaries, old ones. There was one about Enron, and that one I was like, man, that's really informative. But these new documentaries coming out, like these are really more
I feel like
into.
Before they were like from a human perspective, like
and then I see these, I'm like, man, they're coming out fast too, and like real
fast. One of my favorite ones is like what happened to Aunt Diane.
Oh,
remember that one? That
it's
one
on HBO Max.
crushed
Yeah,
me. That one is so like the ones that are like truly from like a human perspective, like trying to give you other human perspectives, I can appreciate. And mostly those are HBO ones, like old school HBO. But like, all of these like Discovery Plus, quick, like let's turn this around. Like, it's
really fast.
When do you think it took a turn? Was it the How to Create a Murder?
YouTube.
Yeah, making a murderer.
Because you're turning
making a
murder into
murderer.
entertainment.
Yeah.
That's when it kind of crossed over. Was
they
when
sensationalize
Serial,
it, right? It's sleazy. It's
even if that wasn't the original intention, once you saw what the ratings were, you went with it.
That's why I feel weird about the reenactment ones when people are reenacting the murders and all stuff like that. Like the ones that are straight facts are like, that's what I like.
But the ones with reenactments, I can appreciate because usually they change names and stuff like that. Because Fear Thy Neighbor, I'm not gonna lie, is my jam. It's so corny, it's so bad, but also everybody is awful, and that's why I don't say hello to my neighbors. I don't make eye contact. I like fidget. I run to my apartment. Yeah, I don't want to get boiling water thrown on me in the middle of the night, and so what that happened. So not to me, but on the show. But I just like really dry, informative. Like, give me a Dateline, give me a 2020. But when it comes to like specific like other shows, I'm just like, I don't want the he said she said stuff. Like, just tell me the facts, and then I can go from there. But I don't like the ones that feel like they're trying to persuade you.
Like it's not a new genre. Like, I grew up on the A&E like investigative report.
Yeah. Dr. G, Medical Woman is my fucking jam.
See, that's that.
Autopsy. I used to sneak watch Autopsy all the time when I was a kid.
Well, back when we were kids, they would break down the story, and then they would give us some testimonials here and there, and they'd have the people talk on it, but they would actually like it was like a narrative, and but now they just kind of like the story
dramatized.
It's really dramatized, and it's all testimonials, and it's all based off of them talking in the room and stuff. And then like Saint said, they'll have some hokey reenactments every now and then, and like there is it's just been turned into fast food, you know what I mean?
They've done that to like scripted crime shows too, though. Like Law and Order used to have like interesting cases every week, and now it's just like
No, it's
drug
not.
lords, drug pins, and I'm just like, okay, but like, what about Mark down the street who jumped me because you know what I mean? And it's like they don't do those kind of stories no more. It's like ripped from the headlines, drug ring, and I'm like, okay, do another drug ring episode, and I'm out of here. Or it's like, and it's like to the point now where it's like, Olivia, it's child abuse that you haven't retired. Your son has been kidnapped, stolen. He's seen you get shot. He's seen you get robbed. And it's just like, retire. And so, but I also don't retire because you're my comfort show. And it comes back this Thursday, y'all. And it's a full night, you know, Law and Order, Organized Crime. Let's talk about Organized Crime real fast, though. Because Organized Crime started with like a war scene in like Bosnia or some shit, and I said, you know what? This is not the Law and Order I signed up for.
Oh,
I just want to see local small murders.
Oh, not something going international.
Whole village get murdered.
It's like a Mission Impossible movie right there. Like, oh my god,
missing well forgotten. All right,
dung dung.
It's unhinged, but like I watch it because you know Elliot. It's my husband.
Yeah.
But yeah, these documentaries are coming out really fast. I noticed that because like, oh no, and oh another one, and then I start seeing one coming out every other week.
And the
I was
foreign
like, man, these are
language ones
fast.
do they scare you a little bit like they do me? Like all the Indian ones on Netflix scare me, like the cyanide and curry.
Oh, I didn't see that because
that was a Japanese one about the guy who kidnapped an American girl, and a lot of it was in Japanese, and that one was like dark.
Yeah, and so like the foreign ones, like especially the Indian specific ones on Netflix, they're so scary because like there was one where like the whole family was hung and like they showed all the feet hanging in the room. I said, no, I don't want to see this. I don't want to see this.
You mean like that movie, Sinister?
Was that the story of the family that hung themselves because they thought they were all going to get brought back to life in 2 days?
Something like
that.
Yeah, it was weird. Like the brother wrote.
Yeah, like they convinced them. Of
Yeah,
something.
they all actually believed that they were all just going to come back to life in 3 days if they.
And those creep
what
me
movie
out.
was that?
Those
No, it's a real life thing that happened, dude, in India.
Tired of Law and Order. Get out of
I
here.
saw it in a movie also. I swear.
That's my husband, y'all.
I get it.
He said, "Wrap it up."
I get it. I'm tired of it too.
Shut up, Isaiah. But yeah, I don't know I think the ones that are like foreign language, they're a little bit more scary because I feel there's like a little bit of like cultural dissonance where I'm not familiar with the lore or the laws, and so it feels more. What is going on? Are you using both accounts?
LOL. Alchemic Menace. Oh, former Alchemist.
He made a mistake and used his burner.
He's using both of his accounts.
Yeah, he's giving them more views, man. That's all. He's helping out the channel.
Appreciate it.
That's what me and I heard.
He said I switched. He's waiting for me outside the door with my
with the glass, like,
with my nightly medicine that makes me not be.
Oh, that's nice.
He said you're not allowed to talk.
It's wine. It's wine. It's wine. It's a box of wine.
Straight up, and a crunch wrap or a crunch wrap. Man,
like a what? A crotch rub?
I was wondering where he was going. I thought he was gonna say crotch rub, and I was like,
a crunch wrap, man. My bad.
Crunch wrap supreme.
Yeah, extra sour cream though. That's my favorite.
Crotch rub supreme.
That was just genuinely my order is a crunch wrap, add nacho cheese, extra sour cream. Some jalapenos.
Has there been any is there going to be officially a third season for that garbage of Natalia?
I think it depends on the ratings. I haven't seen anything in print though. Only the Hulu show. Ellen Pompeo is starring and directing in a story based on her.
Oh, it's a drama.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Yeah.
See, that's what's wrong right there.
Well, who's gonna get the money from that? The Mans or Natalia? Are they getting the rights to her story, or is it loosely based on?
That's just weird
Gypsy
to
get
say.
Money from the act?
Unless they want her to hang another child, they better give us something.
No, I'm wondering, did Gypsy get anything from the act? financial or
Probably not too much, man. I don't
right. I
I
forgot
don't
about that.
I don't think people get paid that much money off of documentaries, man. Like at least the subject.
No, the
I
act,
think
the act was a
scripted.
feature. Yeah, it's a
with Patricia
miniseries.
Arquette
Man,
and
that's
Joey
Hulu
King.
too, so that's money.
And
Also,
Joey,
imagine
Joey
winning.
King.
Imagine murdering, and then that person who plays you on a show, a scripted show, wins like Emmys and stuff for it, and then when
They
you get out, it's like
did.
I'm on Lifetime, y'all.
Yeah, all the
No,
scammers
put me on Hulu
basically.
now.
all those scammers, the inventor that what's it called, the Theranos woman.
Theranos.
She that is she. What's her name? Amanda Seyfried won Emmys
And
for
that show was trash.
And it was fucking
awful.
I
What was
hated
it about?
it. It was
Elizabeth,
yeah.
whatever her name was. She was the one who fake made that medical machine that could test your blood for anything, but the machine
cancer
never,
and all that shit.
and she had all those investors, and like the
Don't
only
she talk
reason,
real deep?
yeah, the only reason why.
Okay.
The only reason why people believed her is because she has a deep voice, but then it turns out that's not even her real voice. But she knew to wear blue because it was a trustworthy color, and she also would deepen her voice because men trusted women with husky voices.
Watch the documentary on HBO. It's a 2-hour one, but it's good. And it's by Alex Gibney. He's the one that did the Enron one. He's fucking good at what he's doing.
Where's it? I was going to ask you about the Enron one. Where's that one?
I think Amazon Prime. I'm not too sure because there's an old one, but if you search for it, it should be on Amazon Prime or something like that, or on Hulu.
About it,
I know there's one on Hulu.
Then that one, yeah, that's only one of them, and it's and it's by Alex Gibney. That dude is really good. He also did the documentary for the BMWs, the Volkswagen, when they did all that. They were cheating off the emissions test. He did that one too. So good. He does good ones though. He did the Scientology one too.
I'm about to watch that one. It's on. I just saw it on Netflix. I never saw any commercials for it or trailers for the guy, the man who disappeared, or something about the guy that everybody famous was friends with. They invited him everywhere. The Asian guy.
Oh,
yeah.
What's that one called?
I gotta find it. I added it to my list. I'll shoot it to. Hold on, let me see. Let me just go.
Is it under Dirty Money?
No, it's a standalone documentary. That's why I was so surprised. I was like, wait a minute.
Go on.
I didn't hear nothing about this, and this is something I would have watched.
See, the political stuff, I love that stuff, but
people can't profit from their crimes, like when they make movies about them and stuff. So where would that leave Gypsy? Because she committed a crime, but she was also a victim in the story.
Oh,
I think you can't make any money of it while you're in jail or something. But I think once you're out and everything, I think it's kind of different after you do your time.
Okay.
I'm not entirely sure how that rule works, but I got a lot of people that get restricted, like don't get out of jail.
Yeah.
And a lot of crimes don't catch the media spotlight too.
Like that one did, yeah.
Not me Googling the most absurd.
Oh, I didn't want to interrupt. Enron, smartest guys in the room, right?
Yeah, that's the one.
Adding it to my list.
Fucking hate all those people, but it's so good because it's about greed and how it just.
I love greed.
It just transforms people really bad. It's just.
Listen to
a good documentary.
So I like con jobs now. Not so much. Just something like steal some money. That's it. Not so much to murder or maiming. So this would be right up my alley. Enron, and then I've heard stories about the girl who invented that, and another one about. I think this was a swindle about a biome where you send them your poop, and they basically told you, they basically gave you your stomach biome, but it was all. They basically said that they could, after a while of testing all these people's feces or whatever, that they could determine illnesses and all kinds of other stuff based on a scan. So people could say they got cancer because they got so many other people with cancer that. Whatever, but it turned out to be all a fucking scam because you can't detect that shit.
Oh, it's about Joe
from your shit, yeah.
We ran it through our poop database, and we realized that you.
So all that poop, where did it get sent to? That's where
I don't know.
It's called Man on the Run. That's the one on Netflix about Joe Lowe. He was the guy who he was paying all these celebrities to pretend to be his friends. and then he disappeared when it got like revealed that like he was a scammer. And so
yeah.
I'll check that one.
I've seen an episode of that, but he's now another one. I didn't know there's a standalone one. Oh hell yeah, I'm gonna see
I think
this
this
one.
is a movie. I don't know if this is a series.
Oh, either way, I'm still gonna watch it.
I think it's a movie.
But isn't that funny? He was like, they like have people on that were like, yeah, one time Leo asked me, do you think his money is legit? And it's basically like, yeah, why wouldn't it be? It's like, well, if you feel like the money you're getting might not be legit, maybe look into that and not ask your wealthy yacht friend, do you think it's legit? Who cares? I'm on a yacht.
I'm gonna watch that one later too.
Yeah.
Is that right? That's cute.
The one that JP and
never mind.
John,
John is into like the more swindled side of things. I'm like more into like.
Yeah, we know he's got better taste.
Murder. He gets that from me.
Right, I'm sure.
Okay.
I'm sure.
Oh, okay. Yes. It's under that John Lowe guy, the Man on the Run. His episode is on Dirty Money on Netflix called The Man on the Top. I knew I fucking saw his ass. Okay. Yes. So Dirty Money is another good series.
Yeah, Dirty Money
okay.
Was decent, yeah.
Yeah, but then they canceled it, but whatever.
Well, they ran out of dirty money. They cleaned it all.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Isaiah, anybody have any last words?
Hell no.
Phil, you've been quiet.
I was just retaining all the information.
Yeah.
I got a lot.
Journal. How to
There was a lot. That gypsy shit is wild.
Well, Phil, at this point, how many people have you had in your basement?
Like this year, or just like
Phil, before you get caught, you should make a documentary now, because then you can make money off of it. Because once you get charged, you won't be able to.
Yeah, and how many pen pals do you want, Phil?
Yeah.
And then when I get released, I already have like a platform and like a following and shit.
Exactly.
Phil, I don't know if you're gonna get out.
Who are we gonna dare to write to him?
It's gonna be clickbait for sure.
Yeah. I was gonna be sneaking cigarettes in to get you killed, Phil. Did you hear that?
No. If anything, I would exploit it because I know him.
Yeah.
So let me write a comic book about Phil.
Yeah.
I'll get in touch with my buddy.
Hey, really good Phil.
You're a white dude. No one's gonna touch you with a 10-foot pole if you do something and go to jail. You're gonna sit there and rot, man.
Well,
it'd be very anticlimactic.
Yeah. You're not white dudes. Older white dudes are not a trendy thing right now.
Oh, not older too.
Yeah,
oh my gosh, you just got double.
All the elderly over here. Like he's like the youngest guy here, isn't he? Like
no, I think
me?
Juan is.
No, Phil.
Me and Juan are the same age.
Yeah, we're 37.
I'm 30. I'm 31. Is John?
All right. Yeah, he's listening.
Me and Gypsy,
I know he just rolled his eyes too.
Me and Natalia Grace were born in the same year, allegedly, 1989. That's allegedly.
Let's see those rings.
Oh my God.
I have 34 rings right now.
Right, yeah.
But it feels like 50.
Man.
I'm gonna need to see that poop sample.
I need to see that poop documentary. Where did all the poop
I don't want
go?
to see my poop sample. I have IBS.
I just want to see the results.
Okay. You're like, I want to see the process. How do you?
Because I want to see the bowl.
I've always wondered that too. Are you?
I want to see the paper bag, and I want to see you light it on someone's porch.
Into the toilet and then dig it out, or are you supposed to go directly in a cup?
Would they send you like a specialized tube cup, and you send it back?
No,
No, but like, how do you get the poop in the cup?
You just take a plastic bag from like a grocery store and just let it rip.
Shit in the bag?
Yeah.
Probably.
Oh, I could. You know what, y'all? I might just.
It's got handles. It's got handles on it.
Because I can't do that. That would. I can't do all that.
Yeah, get a little net. You know the fish thing.
I heard somewhere. I don't know if it was on TikTok, but they were like the worst time to be like a male person was when that popped off because they couldn't throw the boxes into the back of the van. And so they were just constantly knowing that they were picking up people's shit because the boxes would have like a special warning on it. And so every time they would see one, they'd be like, "Oh, fuck, dude."
Anything liquid, fragile, perishable.
They were like,
any
especially
lithium.
knowing that this box has sat here since this morning.
Don't be
throwing shit in it.
Oh.
I was like,
The shit that people believe, or like the clickbait, whatever, is like it never ceased to amaze.
And it's all in the box, obviously.
And to get normal shit, someone would have to take a normal shit. Like, hey, is your shit normal? All right, go ahead and replace it.
But somebody write this story. What if the guy who owns like Cologuard just had a shit fetish? And so all of you guys are you guys are paying this man to take your shit.
Actually, they were charging Medicaid for this.
Well, that's still
no.
I'm benefiting. I'm getting shit and money.
Scamming Medicaid, yeah.
Oh fuck! The easiest thing to scam back in those days.
Back in those days.
No, it was like you should see all the. There's a bunch of stuff that that got scammed down because it was easy to go through the system and all that. But now they have, that's sad.
Well, it's not sad because it's the government and, anti-capitalism. It's not like you guys were giving the money to people who needed it anyway. So
that's true. Dang.
So get your shit money, my guy. Get your shit money.
What you do is you get the shit and then you do fecal transplant, like back alley style, and charge people.
Yeah.
Dark web.
Exactly.
The brown web.
You hit up like the naturopath people.
I know there's an audience for it too because human centipede.
Yeah, there's an audience for literally everything.
Hey, I like those movies, but I don't like anything that has to do with poop. I don't go around it. I don't touch it. There's no correlation. They're not mutually exclusive. I'm just telling you that right now, El.
I'll tell y'all something whenever we go off.
We all know you like that movie.
Oh, wait,
too.
hold on.
No, not that.
Wait, hold on.
Did
Did you guys hear that? It's a boop. Live stream ended. Go ahead, JP.
No, it says live right up there. What are you talking about?
All right, JP, you're good to go, Bo.
Yeah. Here, I'll boop this time.
Okay,
See, boop?
go ahead.
Yeah, we're off now.
I still see it up there. What do you think
that
about?
says live. That says live, not live.
I know English, even though it's my second language, but still.
Nobody said you didn't.
I'm just letting you know.
You must be lagging a little bit. We're totally not live anymore.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, so I love to eat it.
No.
So I thoroughly enjoy a good bowel movement.
Oh no! Oh, I thought that was JP leaving. I said no.
No.
Unless we weren't, and then we're proud of you for telling.
Okay, I did that in a private chat. Okay, good.
Oh, I know what you mean. And yeah, that's like a weird thing that I didn't know was real until it was too late.
Yeah.
Well, way to end things there.
Poop talk.
Poop. Drip, drip, drip. Poop, poop, poop. Drip, drip, drip.
But yeah, any final verdict?
I was hoping you'd sing us out, man, because you brought us in.
Oh, you're gonna sing. I want to piss on you.
I want to poop on you. Who poops pellets?
JP, aka Hot Carl.
Old chili dog over here.
Oh, you're nasty.
The old Detroit stir fry.
You know, I had the pleasure and honor of showing Leah 2 Girls, 1 Cup. She didn't know what it was, and I invited her to my basement room in high school, and I was like, do you want to see something?
I don't think it's real.
No, I don't think it's real either, but
good.
But I got to be the one to break it to somebody, just like my brothers broke me the Pain Olympics, unfortunately. And so I got to do that for somebody else. And you know what? It's like a childhood memory that like it's like so precious. You know what I mean? It's like really weird. Like time of the internet and real life like smashing together, and 2 Girls, 1 Cup. I mean, iconic.
I don't think I'm never gonna not be able to see Goatsy. I think like even if I'm dying of Alzheimer's, like that's gonna be the last thing that runs through my mind is fucking Goatsy. It's just seared in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like dead.
Yeah,
was 2 girls.
Shit.
Was 2 Girls Like 1 Cup the first super viral video?
Lemon Party.
One of them, man. There was.
It's definitely OG, like for sure.
Like,
Isaiah, are you talking about cake farts?
Might be like
back
lemon
there?
party.
Oh, cake farts, man, dude. Oh, that was.
But listen,
I like cake
Gypsy, are you
farts.
listening? Because look, there's a market. Red velvet cake farts.
Why red velvet?
No, they
'Cause it's
deleted
red.
her. They deleted her off of YouTube, man. Like, you can't put that video back up. They won't let it come. So like, cake farts isn't happening.
Oh, on her paywall though, on her.
Oh,
Did you guys see that? Like a whole bunch of 90 Day Fiance former stars are on this new platform. I forget what it's called, but it's like OnlyFans, but for like subpar celebrities, like DEF listers. And like,
oh yeah, OnlyFans has a separate service for like cooking and reality.
No, this is like OnlyFans. Like they're doing sex stuff on there, but
Oh.
it's not OnlyFans, and it's like D-list celebrity people or reality stars. And like, do you guys? I don't know if you guys watch 90 Days, but it's like the people you don't want to see doing sexy stuff doing it. And
Is it Big Ed?
No, but like I don't know if you remember Aria. The one married to the boxer from like Africa, not from the one with the big eyes. And I hate to put it like that, but she's like, oh no, you don't love me. I'm like, yeah, shut up. Okay, but it's like literally the worst people, and even some of the men from the show. And I said no.
No, absolutely not.
But there's plenty of people saying yes.
After you thoroughly perused the website, you said no.
I was like, why does he have his legs open? Like, what is this? And it was an advertisement. And I said no. And then I saw her picture, and she was wearing like lingerie. And I said, not your whole storyline being you don't feel comfortable with him being a boxer because he's touching skin with other people. But you have a whole OnlyFans? Like, what is this?
It's just being hypocritical.
Well, you were there and you thought about it, right, El? Like you.
No,
you
I've never.
hustle.
I will say this with everything on my kids. I have never had a sexual thought about anybody on 90 Day Fiance. Not a single one of them. I watch
But now
it
you
for
might
the
think about
cringe.
it.
I might think about
I
like
mean, you did know about that new show,
what show?
the Sex OnlyFans show.
No, it's like a OnlyFans. It's a website. It's like an app service. And I only know about it
Excuse me, thanks
because
for the correction.
I was checking to see if one of the couples were still together. And when I got
Yeah.
to their Instagram
Yeah,
page,
that sounds so believable.
And to find out, you had to pay a subscription fee.
Damn, all right.
I would never. When you can Google leaked.
A leak.
I would never.
I remember the good old those. That's like the golden age of like internet stuff, like the leaks.
Googling all the way
But I
down.
guess that's
to
why
the
I
leaks.
don't
All right.
understand like the OnlyFans stuff. I feel like the only thing that you really gain from OnlyFans is that one-on-one interaction that you get from creators.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Because their pictures I could see on Twitter.
Right.
I could see on Google. Like I don't need to pay to see your like subpar basement pictures.
Twerk videos.
Oh, Phil, keep talking.
Oh, dude, she replied to my DMs, dude. She totally likes me. Like, come on, bro.
Did you guys see the guy that like got a tattoo of the OnlyFans chick he
Yeah.
loves?
After
Oh my
spending like
God.
$65,000 on her account.
That was fake.
Right.
Though. They just paid him to do that. They paid him like
For real?
a bunch of money to get that tattoo. Yeah, he did. He wasn't actually that obsessed with her and stuff. It was a stunt.
So
Honestly, I would
that's
take the
crazy.
money too, to be honest. Because what's a tattoo? You know, just put a couple lines around it and it's something else.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Okay.
It was just her face.
No, it's a very accurate portrait of her face. It's very detailed. I don't think you just put some lines.
Yeah,
and be
but like put some like
gonna
red
draw an
circles on her
X over
cheeks
it,
and she's a
like-
clown. That's what you know
Man,
what
McDonald's?
But I feel like that's
Deconstructed.
yeah. I'm like that's like my kind of brand of comedy though is to just put a black X over the face. Like just kidding, this isn't real.
So I got the money though. It's like, well, you got a big ass X. I'm like, doesn't matter.
Because my kids, I'll tell you all the time, they're like, every time they see like Aqua Teen Hunger Force, they're like, "Mommy," and I'm like, "You've never even seen the show," and they know my dirty secret that I have that Master Shake tattoo. And
What?
We know you have. That.
Nice.
I said, I don't have one.
Where?
No,
You're
no.
prepping that right
Where?
butt cheek. Not even about butt cheek. Is it like the tramp
Where is it?
Where?
It's not a tramp stamp. It's higher than that.
Oh, it's a great milkshake.
You got it in that art, girl.
I literally got it the day I turned 18.
28.
But very well done. No, when I turned 18, the first thing I did, and I went to the shop, and he's like, "Oh, what do you want?" Like, he's showing me pictures of butterflies and shit. And I said, "Do you know Master Shake?"
Do you have the link where we can see at least how it looks like?
No, but it's it's very.
Is
well
there a
done.
leak?
There's
Is there an
it's white,
Eldonia leak?
There's shading. There's the pink straw. Like, it's very well done, colored and everything. I paid a lot of money for it back in the day. I did.
Pictures of it, or I don't believe you.
Then don't believe me, because my husband is on here and I'm not with y'all.
Why would you lie about getting it?
After that?
But I was obsessed, and then it was so funny because I was like, I didn't really like the process of tattoos. Like, for me, like, it doesn't do anything. I know some people like the process of it, and so like I was gonna get everybody. I was gonna get like meatwad and But then I said, you know what? Maybe I'm better off without a meatball.
Were you gonna get Carl? Were you gonna get Carl too?
And then, in hindsight, I'm glad I didn't, because I'm like, would my husband be into Carl? Looking at Carl, it's bad enough. Like, there's like a wide-eyed milkshake. But I'm obsessed with it. Like, I still think it's funny to this day. Like, I love it. So, but I also feel like, but I absolutely would get paid to get a tattoo of an OnlyFans bitch and then just put an X on it. Absolutely. You know what? For 10, I'd do it for 10K.
I don't know.
Shit, same.
Those really real to life accurate portrait tattoos, they always look so scary though, man. Like the one that guy got, and then the other one that the guy got of the Wednesday Addams girl. What's her name?
Jenna Ortega.
That feels gross.
And it looks terrifying. She's not a scary looking girl, but his tattoo over it horrifies me when I look at it, man. It is like one of the most off-putting things I've ever seen.
Where did he get it at?
It's on his arm.
Ugh. So when he's doing his business, he's looking at a teenager.
Man, I didn't even think about it that way, but that's terrible. Now that you put it that way.
But that's like when people get their kids, like when they get their kids, like in like a specific. I'm like, why would you?
Didn't Steve-O from Jackass have this like whole? He's in the back of his
portrait of himself, on his back, his whole back.
Fucking Steve-O.
That was great.
And then how do you get away with crimes like that? You know,
those are always the ones that
did he have any distinguishing marks? Well, he had 2 faces.
Oh, I can't with this shit. Milkshake, man. You got the milkshake in the back of the
Look, I'm not gonna let me stop. All right, so
I'm sorry.
All right, y'all. Thank you for doing the show. We stayed mostly on track. You tell John good night. That's cute.
Bye, John.
Before you message him good night.
Who's John?
Later, John. It's her husband.
Oh.
And the crowd goes silent. I say what I said.
This weird tattoo. He got this from Jenny Ortega tattoo.
Post it.
Yeah, isn't it terrifying though? Like it doesn't. It looks like it, but it doesn't, right? It's horrifying.
Oh, look at that doggy.
Doggy.
Oh, okay.
What were you guys all saying last week? Pet that dog.
Can I pet that dog?
Oh, so cute.
I didn't know you actually had a dog. I thought it was always just an excuse he used to get off the phone.
No.
What? He's at his neighbors right now. Yeah. No.
No, that's not his house. He broke into somebody else's home, man.
What?
He's
doing a bit.
in your home before?
We're talking about
your
crime
you in
tonight.
your office.
Yeah, I'm at the crack house across the street.
He's at the
It's so nice though.
Not as so nice.
It does look very homey there.
Well, it's Canada too. It's different there.
The Great North is beautiful.
The drug dealers want you to feel welcome.
Yeah,
They want
they
you
got
to
hot poutine ready for you.
Yeah. Hey, have some poutine, eh? Be back in a second, eh?
You get gravy with your meth. Too far? Okay, sorry, JP. All right, well, it's been real.
Bye, guys.
Thanks everybody for watching. Bye, John. Sorry you got to listen to her later.
He sure does. And what about
As
it?
always, it was a joy and a pleasure.
Saint, say something offensive.
Time flies when we're having fun.